Hey everyone, John Fischette here, CEO of Moara. That's Moara.io, stands for Mother of All Research Assistants. What I want to cover today is a product that we get asked about all the time, specifically how it relates to Moara, and also kind of generally what I think about it and whether I use it in my own literature review process. That's NotebookLM, obviously a Google product. It was released in July 2023. If I remember well, I think I actually used it pretty substantially in that very first month it was released. At the time, it was a much more limited product than it is today. But what I'd really like to cover is kind of how I personally see it fitting into the research workflow, some of the limitations, and then again, I'll of course cover our product more and how it relates to NotebookLM. It was just, I think, pretty recently, maybe a few videos ago, I put out a big review of all the different literature review tools out there, research tools. And as you can see, NotebookLM falls in this category, full text analysis and chat with PDFs. By contrast, you have tools like Elicit and Consensus. I call those AI search and discovery or AI search and summarization. You have citation, network mapping, general LLMs, AI writing. But again, full text synthesis, full text chat. I think that is where NotebookLM falls. Moara falls more on the reference management AI workflow side. However, one thing I mentioned in that video is that all of these products cut across multiple categories, and as you'll see, Moara is no exception. So I think we can do this in a pretty straightforward way. I want to walk quickly through the UI UX of NotebookLM and then get into Moara. But first, I'll show you. So NotebookLM, one of the restrictions it has is you can only import up to 40 papers. The reason for that is because, again, um, oftentimes when you're building an AI product, really all you're trying to do is figure out how to limit appropriately the context that you pass through the models you're using. So in this case, it'd be very difficult, I think, in NotebookLM's case, to manage 100 papers or something like that. So I import my 40. Let me talk through again. A limitation here is if I'm thinking of the reference management use case for managing papers, this probably isn't a good solution for that because, as you'll see, there's no kind of enrichment process. There's no process of, even Zotero has something where when you import PDFs, it captures titles and some basic information about those PDFs. You at least don't get that with the initial interface in NotebookLM. So it would make it pretty difficult to do things like, cite from here, or to do things like, scan through your titles and figure out what's relevant or which ones to click into. What NotebookLM, of course, is really good at is again helping you sort of synthesize all this information. So this is actually some papers I uploaded last month. Flu vaccines, specifically effectiveness, specifically in elderly populations. You get a nice initial summary, and then to test NotebookLM, I really thought the best ways to figure out its capabilities were to literally just plug in quotes and ask, can you find what paper this is associated with? I mean, yes, I could say what are the top methodologies and whatnot, but that's relatively easy. What I was trying to figure out is can this actually dig into a specific paper? And indeed it could. I also asked questions like, give me a meta-analysis of all the quantitative results, and it did so pretty well. Maybe not the best kind of interface, but the question I'll test here live is, where relevant, list the control variables used in the models in my papers. And of course, on the back end, I'd envision it's going through a process to search for the relevant papers, figure out which ones are in scope, and then process the full text contents of those papers. So that's going through that process. As it does, I will talk through some of the what I'll call bells and whistles here. I did test out 4 critical ones. I tested out the mind map. So the mind map is, as you'll see right here, a way to map out different methodologies and kind of almost looks like sections of a paper to an extent. Then you can break these out into different subfields. So if I click on this one right here, you just kind of zoom in. I think it's a pretty basic feature, but you can see it also, this is the first time I'm seeing this functionality, plugs in an interesting research question here. By the way, I don't mean to bounce around, but just I'll do this. I'm doing this live. Let's go back. Where relevant, list of control variables. Sources describe a wide range of models using different, mostly regression models. Across most primary studies, the following variables were routinely adjusted for: age and age group, sex, time period, blah, blah, blah. Specialized control variables. This is really great. I mean, this is an awesome. So it seems like a great use case to, if I'm trying to come up with my methodology, I mean, how I would be doing this personally, set aside kind of literature reviews in your literature review section. If I'm trying to come up with my methodology, I might use a Notebook LM like product to really dig into the models. And then I know it sounds kind of overcomplicated, but I'm probably going to have a Claude chat as well, or a Claude agent, that I am taking this information and plugging it into Claude, because Claude is where I'm going to staple on data sets as well, right? Claude is, in short, this is a vertical tool. You put in papers, you get information about those papers. Claude is where you're going to bring together, I think, yes, a couple papers, yes, some information like this, but also, sample data sets. An example of what I might do in a Claude to, as I'm developing my methodology, is find different data sets and plug in some of their fields in a few lines of sample data, just so that you can come up with a really good model with a lot of different sources. So that's really good. Again, I think this is interesting. Let's see what came up in this. Quickly discuss these sort of about efficacy. Okay. I mean, it's really great. You can just explore anything you want in these papers. That's really cool. Let me go back to the studio. I did, out of curiosity, so as probably most know, Moara is a table, right? It's a library table. That's the core of the product, a kind of a reference management table. I did, as part of this kind of table view, I did request NotebookLM to create a table. Here's what it came up with. It's interesting. It's not super user friendly. Obviously, you don't have data like, I don't think, citation count or anything like that. It's actually okay. So you've got all the references here. So I think this could be helpful in some contexts. Again, it's not, you can't click through it or anything, but that could be helpful. Now, here are the two really wonky features that I kind of put together and listened to. I won't be able to play them for this video, but I bet I can share them. I can share them. So let me know if you want me to share them with you. But first one was a video, and I'll show
Okay,
you
let's
kind of the interface. You won't be able to see it,
survival.
but hold on
Which
one sec. Let me pause, and you can see some of the visuals. I mean, it's insanely cool. And indeed, if I'm working through a big literature review, I've said before, I would err to the side of looking at a ton of summaries, looking at a ton of newspaper articles, doing a lot of secondary research, high level research before, or at least in conjunction with diving into papers. You want to get a sense for how people are talking about what you want to get as many summaries as you can. I think this is really cool. Why not do this? It's free, and it took a while to run, but again, it's a very cool tool. So I was very impressed with this video. Really cool thing. And then likewise, the podcast. Obviously, like I said, I
triangle
can't play this, but the podcast was also really cool. It's a man and woman talking back and forth about um, the video and the podcast don't have a ton of synthesis capabilities. Each one covered, I think, 3 to 5 papers. The podcast only talked through 3 of the 40 papers I have here, but you could listen to it in your car. It's a very cool thing. So the point is it absolutely critical the way screening or full text reviews are to your or citation analysis is to your literature review? No, but if you're looking for something cool, you can try those out. The others I chose not to look at. The quiz flashcard, that's kind of cool, but I didn't see a ton of use cases for it. I don't think I need a flashcard, set of flashcards if I'm preparing a paper. But really cool tool. And I'll reiterate what's happening here is you're importing up to 40 papers. And then my instinct is that the LLMs are going through a process with each question to do a quick, almost title and abstract screen, figure out which papers are relevant, then dive into those full texts. And in the case of what paper is this quote in, I would imagine there's a relevance score first, and then just going through those papers one by one till you get a hit. So this is helpful. I would describe this as kind of a snapshot, point in time tool, right? It's not really a project management tool. It's not a workflow tool. It's certainly not a reference management tool. So it's a really interesting snapshot tool. You can see some of the flashcards. I just ran this actually by accident. Okay. So really interesting. Now, let's compare that quickly with obviously our product, Mora, mother of all research assistants. And a couple of things I'll mention. First, hopefully right off the bat, you could tell Mora is, I just imported these papers here, so they don't have tags or priorities yet, but Mora is, again, much more of kind of a reference management tool. So you will not import any papers that don't get titles. We will automatically capture titles. We'll automatically find the abstracts of those papers. We will automatically pull together their citation counts. We'll grab their DOIs, even when you're just importing as PDFs. And so the point is, I think this probably gives you a lot more to build on top of. When I say build on top of, what I mean is things like screening, to go through screening and make notes on papers and mark them as high, medium, low priority, etc. There's also an element of this that's enrichment. So indeed, if the data table view is interesting to you, we know that you can call data points from and metrics and information from external vendors. Like if you have libkey hooked up, we can go ahead and use those DOIs to actually get any expressions of concerns or retraction notices. So again, gives you more to build on. I think NotebookLM is a great product for point in time synthesis. This is more something you're in and out of, clicking through, etc. I do want to mention something, which is that it's actually somewhat of a new part of Moara, which is the actual agent. So there's an agent in Moara, just like there's a text editor, by the way. Let me toggle on that text editor, and you can see you can do things like call citations here. But in terms of the agent, what's really interesting is I can't, I didn't anticipate sort of covering this, but then I went through the test and I thought it was really interesting. Um, a lot of the notebook LM capabilities that exist here, we've got on our tool as well for what it's worth. I'll just show you one example live so you can see it. Which paper has this quote? Let me plug that in on Notebook LM, and then I'll plug that in on our tool as well. Let's give it a second to run. Okay, so Notebook LM nailed it. And Mora nailed it as well. Cowling and Okoli, this was the screenshot I had taken to confirm when I actually pulled the quote. I would say Notebook LM was about 5 to 10 seconds faster than Mora, but nonetheless, they both grabbed the quote. And so, full text article review, like I said in the categories slide, really both products have that capability. Now, one other thing I'll mention in Mora is that, of course, there's a workflow element to it as well. I've already gone through that. But for instance, if I want to screen papers, I can do it here. If I want to read papers, I could do it here as well. I've mentioned in prior videos that you can actually go through an annotations process. And so, for instance, if you find some text that you really think is interesting, you can highlight it, save it down as a structured annotation, then export it later if you need to. And I should also mention one last thing, which is I talked about reference management, but I didn't mention specifically literally citing and referencing. Yes, you can do it in the text editor, but also you can select your style here, download files as bibliography. And one thing I always advocate for is rather than using the typical kind of clunky cite while you write in Microsoft Word, what you can do is actually copy and paste the writing you have, like a sentence or paragraph, into your agent, staple on in-text citations. I'll maybe specify from my library to support this argument. And then I will copy and paste it in my paper. Pretty much every time I mention this to someone, they say, "Wow, that is an interesting idea." It's just something. You don't think of it, right? Don't underestimate the number of kind of use cases and things you can accomplish in the agent here if the agent has access strictly to your library. And you can see the output here. I can go ahead and just copy and paste it, and I've got those in-text citations. You might actually identify some citations that you didn't even know supported your argument before. Okay, so that covers everything. Again, Notebook LM, really cool product, especially if you have 20 or 30 papers. You've got a long drive coming up. You need to listen to a podcast and you want, or something like that. A lot of cool bells and whistles. I think if you're working with a couple hundred references or papers, it's probably not the right tool. And I think, if, frankly, I guess you've already got a subscription to Mora, or you have some other use cases in Mora that make a lot of sense. Maybe you could just use that for full text synthesis. But I advocate for using a lot of tools, reading through a lot of summaries, listening to a lot of podcasts, videos, reading through articles. So why not cast a wide net? That said, really appreciate the time. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more like this. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you.